right, folks. All right, today we are going to install a new part I got for the Jeep when I was up at Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. So let's take a look and see what we got going on over here. But yeah, got some new Tyree lights. Pretty sweet. All right, so let's check this out. So I got my Diabolical, keeps everything nice and secure. When the top's off, I don't have to worry about my stuff on the bottom. Anybody stealing it or getting to it. However, I have a slight problem because I'm a little messy. All my gear and everything, after I have a long weekend out doing recoveries, doing repairs, things like that, it becomes a mess. I am not a very clean person. Now, when it comes to like after doing all my recoveries and things like that. Now, as some of you know, those of you that have a Diabolical or have seen the Diabolical before, you can flip this open and then it's got another lever here and you can get to the back stuff. However, that becomes a giant pain sometimes. So, what I have purchased is the sliding floor that goes in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this bad boy unboxed. I'll show you all that. We'll get it put together and get it installed. So there it is, all cleaned out. And everything I bring with me. Now the root beers, that's a little odd. We just got back from an event, so those normally aren't in there. Those are my kids' sand toys. So all my recovery gear, hitch, some ratchet straps, a bunch of stuff. No, that's not really Uber Eats. There's car parts in there. All my tools. All right, so let's get this started. They took the time and care to put enough padding in here to where it wouldn't deform this if it had any issues during shipping. Now, I will let you know, you probably saw me open up a few of those pieces in half just to see the foam, to see if there's anything in there. I've bought product in the past that they did hide pieces and parts in there. Fortunately, Diabolical didn't do that. They put everything out here and they labeled everything of exactly what it is and where it goes. So this is the main base plate that actually slides in and out all together, one big piece, nothing welded together. All these pieces are all folded up, and it does look like there's already some nuts already in here. So when we attach the brackets, we don't have to worry about fumbling with nuts and things like that on the inside. So that's all awesome. Let's check out these brackets. Again, they did an awesome job with packaging. They're buying quality stuff. It's nice to see that the quality is all the way through, even to their packaging and their customer service. And that's one thing I have to say Diabolical definitely does. All right, so here's one of the brackets. All right, you can see where the drawer mechanism is. It's got, I'll show you more about the functionality later, but it gets these. Allows you to lock it and unlock it in so it doesn't just slide out arbitrarily like over in a hill or something like that. It's not going to just come out of the Jeep. All right, so this looks like it's actually going to be the driver's side, but I'm going to double check because you never know. Again, no welding marks, anything like that you can see in here. It's all bent over steel. So yeah, great craftsmanship, great quality, heavy duty. It's pretty awesome. All right, let's lay out this hardware. It's always good when you're doing a project like this that you get yourself a nice good space to work with so you can lay out all your parts, see what's there, make sure you're not missing anything. So this is the first package. This is the hardware package. should know this by now. I have a pocket knife with me. All right, so here's your hardware package. Again, you saw it in this foam, or in this padding. And on top of that, they put in a Ziploc bag, and it was also taped shut. So no parts are gonna go anywhere during shipping. And there we go, so there's your hardware packet. Now this is a floor bracket, one of two. All right, again, in foam and cellophane to protect the product during shipping. So one thing that you may notice is not in here is instructions on how to put it together. Reason for that is Diabolical has on their website, they have tutorials on exactly how to install this stuff. So one of the good idea for you to do is make sure that you go to Diabolical's website and you watch the videos. It sounds good just to watch it one time. See, that was so much easier. It's a good idea to watch it at least once. My suggestion is you watch it twice, because sometimes in systems in different products, there is little things that you may miss the first time, and you may get distracted or something like that while you're watching it. So make sure you take the time to watch this video and get the idea how to install this. If you need to, make sure you got your cell phone or something with you at the side of where you're putting it together, so that you can watch it as you put it in. All right, so let's get this started. Alrighty, so slight update. I did have these brackets on the wrong side in the last video. I don't want anybody to do something the wrong way if they're just watching this video to put this thing together. So it does, the easiest way to remember it is these sliders right here. They go against the drawer, okay? Sliders against the drawer on both sides. All right, on to the next piece. All right, here's a list of tools you are going to need for this project. You need an 18mm socket with either a ratchet, or you're going to use your impact wrench. 11mm wrench. I would suggest getting a ratcheting wrench for what you need it. It'll make your life a lot easier. And then here is a 4 hex, and then a Torx bit. This is a T30. You will need a T30 as well. If you are getting this system and you already have the slipstream, I would suggest getting yourself an 11mm socket as well. Just because there is a 1 bolt on the slipstream that you need to loosen a little to move some brackets. So here's a list of the tools you're gonna need. There's a gap here, but what's awesome is they provide you with a spacer. So it fills that gap perfectly, so it'll fit nice and flush. If you already have a slipstream in your system, my suggestion to make your life a little bit easier is take the top. Definitely have to take the back off, but take the top off. And it'll make it a lot easier for you to do your install. Alright. Alrighty, let's get this started. So for starters, we're gonna go and remove the seatbelt bolts. Alright, so as I'm seeing here, it's looking like I actually need to lift this up and stick this underneath here. Primarily because of this bracket. So I need to make sure that it lines up exactly level like this, and it's interfering a little bit with the slipstream here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen this bad boy up. I'm going to get it lifted up and we'll get it moved. It has been a while since I put this slipstream in, so I don't remember the sizes. All right, there it is. It's an 11mm. Coming to help me, sweetie? No, I'm oh, you're leaving. Of course, right when the fun begins, the wife leaves. And you just loosen this bad boy up. Should allow you the ability to rotate that bracket, I'm not sure if you can see that, but if you rotate that bracket, and put your bracket in there and put the bracket right where it needs to go. And that should do it. Alrighty. Oops. And again, like I said, don't tighten anything down all the way until you get done putting all the pieces where you go and you make sure that it all fits exactly perfect. So let's go ahead and do that to this other side. So again, you're going to go ahead and loosen this. It's 11 millimeter. You're going to rotate the bracket. Stick the bracket for your sliding door in underneath the bracket for your slipstream if you have one. And then go ahead and put your nuts and stuff back on here. Don't tighten anything up at this point. Like I said earlier, just get it in here and your stuff moving. As you can see, I pulled my brackets inward because I forgot to take out these two bolts that we're going to be replacing. So we're going to go ahead and grab our T30, which I put here somewhere. That's one thing I'm really bad at, is setting things down and forgetting where I put them. Hiding. Again, same thing on this side. You're going to reuse this bolt, so let's go and put it there. Get rid of the luggage tag. All right, so each bracket, they're obviously different, right? So they're set up to sit on each side. So make sure that when you're holding them, it makes a V when you're looking from the back of the Jeep to the front. It makes a V. If you're making upside down V, wrong way. Go ahead and make it this way, okay? So we'll go ahead and set these here where they're going to go. Just put the bolt a couple threads in, because I'm sure I'm making something hard on myself right now. I can foresee it already. All right, so what these brackets are, they're to hold the rails, right? So it's meant to hold the rails all the way against the side. Now this side, I had already taken out this rail to show you guys where all this goes in. So I'm going to put it back in to make my life a little bit easier. All right, pull this over here. So right next to these blue handles, there is a little hole in your bracket. Those connect to here with this short bolt, okay? There also comes with nuts, so go ahead and use those together and you'll be good to go. My suggestion would be, because the way these rails work is these flat rounded edge you're going to put near through this side. That way the rail can still open and close. If you do it the other way, your bolt's going to be in the way. If you come back this way, it's going to come in the way. It's going to lock up your system, okay? So make sure the bolt goes towards the wall. To use your 11mm for the bolts over here on this side. Okay, we'll get them a little bit snugged up. So what I did was I slid this pretty much right where it's gonna go, and I tightened this bracket. We'll see if I'm breaking a cardinal rule by tightening something before you get done, but it should be okay. Next up, I am going to get some of this stuff cleaned up and out of the way. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these rails out, pull the handle down, get this slide out. Handles down, slide out, pull this one out. Now, I am keeping these on separate sides so I don't get myself confused, because, you know, it's Harris and, well, I get confused sometimes. All right, so here's your drawer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this bad boy all lined up. And we shall see if I'm right on this one, but I am going to go ahead and put these on the back bolts here on each side. They perfectly line up. Looks like you can have the front or the back. Not exactly sure, but we're going to go ahead and do on the back one to see how that goes. Now for your 4mm, let's go ahead and, what I like to do is the total opposite of what I'm doing now, which is doing the back one. But what I like to do is do this middle one right here. That way it holds the whole part up. Okay. That way it holds the whole part up for you. So while you're putting it together, it will hold your part up here for you. Now again, leave it loose. Get a couple more bolts in this bad boy. Alright, so as I was saying, I like to put the center bolt in first.
and then move to the next, whichever side you want to do, front or back, doesn't really matter. All personal preference. So we'll go ahead and get these put in here. So far everything's lining up exactly perfect, which is exactly what's supposed to happen. Let's get these all nice and tight in here. Now we got all of them in there. All right. Now we'll go ahead and turn this around and do it on the other side. You could do this out on your working table that we set up earlier. I don't, only because sometimes I'll get confused, and when I'm moving parts from one place to the other, that's just a personal thing. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in the exact same spot we did the other ones. So on this side, this is what the other side looks like. The passenger side doesn't have this opening like it does on the driver's side, and that's because of your door, your Jeep door, the tailgate. Get all these tightened in here. And then we're going to do a test fit. Everything lines up good. We're going to get a couple of these things tightened up, the front and the back bolts. All right, so she's in here, locked in there. Go ahead and get her unlocked. And pull her out. All right, so she is pretty tight here. So we just need to make a couple adjustments to open it up. So for that, I'm going to pull this door out. Alrighty. Now, this is the great thing about working with these type of things. You can always adjust. So what I'm doing is I'm going to tighten this front bolt. The back bolt really doesn't have much room to work or much place to go. So we're going to tighten these front ones just a little. All right, let's see here. There we go. And there she is. Exactly where she needs to be. Now, as you'll notice, this thing does stop halfway out. So when it does start to come out, it comes out all the way, and then it won't push in. That's because you have to push the handles down to get it past that first initial lock, and it'll go all the way in for you. All right. Now, locks in exactly like it's supposed to. Push the handles down one time, let it slide a little, and then you're good to go. As easy as that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff tightened up for you. And we will be good to go. The one really amazing thing about Diabolical is when you call the company, you're actually more than 9 times out of 10, you're going to be talking to the actual owner, Alan. He's a great guy. And he's here. He can
see everything in his head of what's going on in the back of your rig. Sometimes he'll ask you for some photos if you're having some issues. He'll get you squared away. The team at Diabolical is just awesome. So, I'm gonna cut that on this tight. And make sure these are tight. Now, one big thing before you get done, you have to go through each and every bolt, make sure that you tighten everything you loosened. And I just remembered while I was doing this, I did not tighten these bracket bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. All right. So there she is, all installed. Ready to go. Alright, locked in, slides right out, no issues. So there she is. Alright, so we're getting the Diabolical all put back together. Now my slipstream is a really tight one because I have it designed that way. I have all the bolts set to where my lid and things like that are extra tight. So, let's get this top put back on here. I already put the back plate in there for you. Now, what's really nice about this is you can put the back tube pins on your lid if you want, and it'll go ahead and sit up like this, hang out. You can still access everything you need to access. I've got the molly panel system on mine, so I can strap gear and things like this, which I will get all set back up after my last trip. Everything got taken off because I needed it. This goes to show you how easy this system is for daily use. I also got the rails up here for cargo, and trust me, I load this cargo down. I put a full ice chest up here, a bunch of gear, a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure what the specs are, but don't tell Alan, but I probably overload this thing. But she hasn't failed. She's nice and tight. She's strong. And she keeps everything I have safe. So that's the install of the sliding floor on the JKU for the Diabolical system. You can have this without the Diabolical full slipstream system. The way it installs, it allows you to have it just by itself, which is a great option. But I still highly recommend you have the whole slipstream system. Next on my list, I'll be getting drawers and probably a bigger lid. But gotta make that money first. Alright, once she's all loaded down, go ahead and give your levers a little pull. Let her go in. There it is. Guys, quick overview of the Diabolical slide floor that I just got done installing. Very easy install, minimal tools, really no skill. So definitely an easy thing. I think with me giving instruction, everything like that, it took me about 35 minutes. It should take you guys a little bit less, maybe about the same, just depends on your skill level, but definitely a great thing to have, make your life a whole lot easier, especially for those of you out off-roading. You need a tool in the far back. It just makes it a lot easier just to grab the tool in the back, or your tow strap or connect rope, whatever it is that that you need to get to in the back. That's one thing I've been struggling with a long time, and that's the whole reason why I got the sliding drawer for the JKU. So there it is. Highly recommend.